Archivist Prime Zethlara had spent her entire 7th-century lifespan studying the extinct species of the galaxy, but nothing in the vast data archives had prepared her for the signal that appeared on her quantum sensors at precisely 14:27 Galactic Standard Time. The transmission originated from the deep void, the empty space beyond the galactic rim, where no civilization had ever ventured. More disturbing was its linguistic pattern, ancient Terran, a language that had been dead for 20 millennia. Archivist Prime called her research assistant, the young Vorthan scholar Kexrim. The translation protocols are having difficulty with the message. The language structure suggests significant evolution from our historical records. Zethlara activated the holographic display, watching as the computer system struggled to decode words that hadn't been spoken since the galaxy was young. Slowly, the translation crystallized. This is the Terran exploration vessel Endurance, returning from Deep Space Expedition Omega 77, requesting current galactic political status and safe harbor coordinates. Captain Miranda Cross commanding. The silence in the research station was profound. Every educated being in the galaxy knew the story of humanity's disappearance, how the entire species had simply vanished from known space 20,000 years ago, leaving behind empty worlds and unanswered questions. Most scholars believed they had destroyed themselves in some catastrophic war. Others theorized they had transcended physical existence. None had considered that they might simply have left to explore beyond the galaxy's edge. "Alert the Galactic Council immediately," Zethlara commanded, "and prepare our most powerful deep space sensors. I want to know exactly what's coming our way." The ship that emerged from the deep void 3 days later defied every principle of known engineering. Where ancient human vessels had been crude, blocky constructions barely capable of reliable faster-than-light travel, the Endurance appeared to be carved from a single piece of dark matter itself. 20 kilometers long and absolutely silent, it moved through space with the inevitability of a natural force. Councillor Morthic of the Luminary Confederation was the first to break the emergency session's stunned silence. "The vessel's energy signature is unlike anything in our databases. It's not using conventional propulsion. It appears to be manipulating space-time directly." "How is that possible?" demanded Chancellor Rexvin of the Hegemony. "Even our most advanced theoretical physics suggests such technology shouldn't exist for another million years of development." High Archivist Telnara pulled up the historical records. 20,000 years ago, humans were barely past their industrial age when they achieved faster-than-light travel. They were considered a promising but primitive species. This, she gestured at the readings, this represents a technological advancement curve that's almost incomprehensible. The Endurance established orbit around Nexus Prime, the galaxy's diplomatic capital, and transmitted a simple message requesting permission to send a diplomatic shuttle. The Council, still reeling from the implications of humanity's return, granted the request with trepidation. The shuttle that detached from the mothership was itself a marvel, translucent, apparently constructed from crystallized energy, moving with the grace of something alive. It docked at the Council's diplomatic bay, and the being that emerged challenged every assumption about human evolution. Captain Miranda Cross stood nearly 3 meters tall, her elongated form suggesting adaptation to low-gravity environments. Her skin had a subtle luminescence, and her eyes held depths that spoke of experiences spanning stellar distances. When she spoke, her voice carried harmonics that resonated in frequencies most species couldn't even perceive. "Honored Council members," she began, her words translated by technology so advanced it seemed like telepathy. "Humanity greets the children of the galaxy. We apologize for our lengthy absence." Councillor Morthek found his voice first. "Captain Cross, the historical records indicate that humanity disappeared from galactic space 20 millennia ago. Where have you been?" Miranda's smile was gentle, but carried undertones that made seasoned diplomats instinctively nervous. We went beyond the galactic edge to explore what lay in the spaces between stars. We found more than we expected. More? How? Pressed Chancellor Rex Vin. We found that our galaxy is not alone. There are others, countless others, connected by pathways, through dimensions we hadn't known existed. We've spent 20,000 years learning from civilizations that make our current galactic community look like children playing with wooden toys. The implications hit the Council like a cascade failure. Humanity hadn't just survived, they had evolved into something that operated on a scale beyond the galaxy itself. Captain, High Archivist Telnara asked carefully, "Why have you returned?" Miranda's expression grew serious. "Because we've detected something approaching this galaxy from the void. Something that has consumed 17 galactic communities in this local cluster. It will arrive within 50 standard years." Consumed how? The entities we call the Devourers exist between dimensions. They feed on consciousness itself, leaving behind empty space where once thriving civilizations existed. We've been fighting them for the last 5 millennia. The council chamber erupted in panicked discussion. The galaxy's most advanced civilizations barely understood dimensional theory, let alone how to fight interdimensional predators. The Endurance, Miranda continued, is not just an exploration vessel. It's a prototype for the defense systems humanity has been developing. We've come to warn the galaxy and to prepare you for what's coming. Counselor Morthek studied the readings from the human ship. "Captain, your vessel's capabilities appear to exceed our combined fleet strength by several orders of magnitude." "The Endurance is one of our smaller ships," Miranda replied matter-of-factly. "The main defense fleet is still in transit from the Andromeda interface. They should arrive within 10 years. The casual mention of travel between galaxies, as if it were routine, sent another shock through the assembled representatives. "What do you need from us?" Chancellor Rexvin asked, his voice heavy with the weight of cosmic responsibility. "Integration protocols. We need to bring your civilizations up to defensive capability standards before the Devourers arrive. It won't be easy. You'll need to advance technologically by roughly 50,000 years in half a century." "Impossible." Miranda's luminescent eyes fixed on the Chancellor with an intensity that made him step back. "Counselor, 20,000 years ago, humans were confined to a single star system. Today, we patrol the spaces between galaxies and wage war against entities that exist outside normal space-time. Impossible is a word we stopped using long ago." As emergency protocols activated throughout the galaxy, one thing became clear: humanity's return marked the end of the galaxy's childhood. The universe was far more dangerous than anyone had imagined, but it was also far stranger and more wonderful. The children of Earth had grown up in the dark between, and they had come home to prepare their old neighborhood for war.